Alright guys, I'm doing my best to stay composed right now, although I'm really upset for my children. My wife, earlier tonight, we had a disagreement because she's leaving again tomorrow for work, and promised my daughter that she would be hanging out with her all day, my daughter has the flu, so I took umbrage to it, and a little bit of a disagreement, I would say, ensued. Jenny became completely uncontrollably emotionally, like she always does, and said she was calling the police. So I said, for what? What did I do? I didn't do anything. I said, I'll call the police myself. So I called the police because I knew she would make some sort of false police report, which is typical Jenny. The last two exes can contest to that. So anyway, I left. I did a podcast with my buddy Frankie Edgar. I got woken up by 2 o'clock in the morning. At 2 o'clock in the morning, sound asleep, by two officers who said she contacted the judge and filed a restraining order. So I'm currently in the back of a police car. Alright guys, so here's the story. Still in the back of a police car. I came home, I did a podcast with my buddy Frankie Edgar tonight. Came home, I don't even know, it was maybe like 11:30, something like that. Went to bed, was woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning by the police. Now the police were at our house earlier tonight for the first time in 7 years, because I called them, because my wife was hysterically shouting at me, yelling at me that she was calling the police. So I said, all right, she's going to make up some fake story and let me call them. So I called them, documented it, that I was concerned she'd make up a fake story, and then I left and went and did a podcast. When I returned home and fell asleep, the police showed up, and exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. So now I have a restraining order. I'm not allowed to go home and see my children. So it's going to get more interesting, and I'm going to keep you updated on all this. Say hello, officer.
What's up, guys?
Sorry about this, man. It was to put your business out there. I truly thought that was the wrong thing to do. I thought that our children would see it someday, and it was wrong in every ethical way to do that. Now, I believe that it's on my side. I believe that putting the truth out there weighs in my favor. And what I say I can substantiate with some proof. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my new MO. That's my new route. I'm not allowed to go see my children. My children, who I spend every day with. My son, who is 2.5, over 2.5, 11 nights since he's been born. 11 nights. 7 of them were in South Korea with Jenny. I have not spent in bed with him. 11 nights. She took that from me. She took that from me tonight. I thought the wrong thing to do was... Alright guys, so I struggled internally with this for a long time. Whether to put stuff out there publicly, because there's a possibility my children could see it someday, and that tears me apart. So I struggled with it until tonight, when I'm the one that called the police because my wife was shouting, swearing, screaming at me, I'm calling the police, I'm calling the police. And I was like, for what? What did I do? Well, she's screaming in my daughter's face, your father's a piece of shit. He's out of here. He's out of here. I'm sorry I ever had children with him. To my 4.5-year-old daughter, who's spanking me in the butt saying, you're a bad daddy. I called the police to preemptively get ahead of what I thought she was going to do. I got woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning by the police. She filed a restraining order. I'm not allowed to see my children. Not allowed to even text Jenny about my children. All right, guys, so I struggled internally with this. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I cannot see my children. If anybody on this face of this planet ever says that I was not there for my kids every day of their life, they're a liar. Every day. I don't go away for months at a time, for weeks at a time. I'm always there for my children, always. And I'm not allowed to be there for my children anymore because somebody else is so hate-filled that they would do that to the father of their children, to a great father to their children. It's sad, man. It's just sad. Sitting at a friend's house, No game plan. Took tomorrow off work, thank God. I don't have a change of clothes. Police said if I want to go home, I mean, I'm not arrested, I'm not in jail, so there's no crime committed. It's just somehow Jenny convinced a judge that a restraining order should be filed. I have no idea how, no clue. They couldn't even explain it to me. I'm the one that called the police first because I was afraid that that might happen. I was actually afraid that she would like go hit herself in the face in the bathroom or something, which is, trust me, not out of the fucking realm of possibility for Jenny. So I called the police, made a police report just to say, and they said, you're good to go. When I come home, I fall asleep in bed, didn't even speak to her, and I get woken up at 2:30 in the morning and escorted out of my house, not allowed back. Ladies and gentlemen, truth is stranger than fiction. It's insane. All right, this might be my last post for the night, and I'm really trying not to post out of anger. I'm trying to post out of honesty. I mean, there's definitely hurt for sure, no question. But how does somebody combat, for lack of a better word, somebody that has insane popularity and is beloved and is on the number one rated show of all time? The truth. That's how you combat them. The truth. And I'm going to bring you the truth from here on out. And I'm going to bring you a lot of the truth. Stuff you had no idea that existed or went on. That's what I'm going to bring you. Because I'm not good at a lot of things. I'm horrible at reality TV. It was never my thing. But what I'm good at is speaking the truth and being honest. And you're going to see a lot of that. Because the truth is my friend. So I'm trying to stay composed here. Nobody wants to see a video of a sobbing fucking old man. The hardest part about this, and I'm not the first man, and probably not the first woman to be in this position. I'm sure it goes both ways. Unfortunately, I don't know why I'm on this end of it, but is that my ex cannot control her emotions in front of our children and literally turns my child against me. My daughter, the look in her eyes. Because her mother can't wait till they go to sleep to have a disagreement. She has to do it in front of them. To look in my daughter's eyes and the misunderstanding she had towards her dad and hitting me in the butt because I upset her mother because her mother can't control her emotions. So I'm trying to.
Okay, right now we are on J Wall's page. She has taken the comments off of her first two posts. And on the post with her children, we are going to see how people are bashing her. To those faces, see those faces, imagine the turmoil they will feel the rest of their lives knowing mommy, who doesn't even raise them, is taking them away from their sole caretaker daddy and shoved to a nanny who is only there for a paycheck. Sad. I hope you get mental help and realize this isn't okay. Somebody said you're a poor excuse of a mother. A mother puts petty shit aside and puts their children first. Absolutely disgusted at these children could grow up without a father. And then somebody said, see those kids right there? They love to see their dad. Grayson has completely different look on his face, like something has been unlocked. Hatefulness and bitterness towards an ex and using your babies as pawns is only hurting them. Can you and Roger work it out? Because you guys gave me hope. You guys are great together. Please work out. Okay, so my 2 cents on this whole thing are that Roger is very, very, very hurt. And I honestly, let's be honest, he shouldn't have posted any of that. You keep your private business private. A judge is not going to put any of these videos in Roger's favor. It is not okay for you to paint a picture of the other person. But I do understand where he is coming from. Nobody wants to be woken up at 2:30, 3:30, whatever, 30 in the morning after you come home from doing your podcast, which is part of working. You just came home from work. You don't want to do that. But also he did call the police on his wife, which you have the right to do. I am not shaming any man for defending himself in the way of calling the police, but honestly, with the way she was acting, he should have put a restraining order out on her. If you feel that somebody is tarnishing the way your kids think about you and anything like that, you have those rights. You should do that. But he didn't, And I understand why nobody wants to do that to their wife. But if you're already calling the cops on her, you already have your insinuations. As he said many times in the video, he already assumed that JY would do something like that. Supposedly, he brought up ex-boyfriends and the fact that ex-boyfriends can attest to this. So that's just my 2 cents on it. At the most, I honestly just feel bad for the kids. Really, you can tell those kids love, love, love their dad. And it just sucks to see them in that situation. But also, like, you're supposed to put your kids before you. I understand that. But also, once you become a parent, you kind of do that every day. So in certain situations, you do have to put yourself first. So was that what JY was doing? I don't know. But I do like to play devil's advocate just a little bit so everybody can get their little piece of the side. So, yep. So early in the morning, Roger, I got my bags out. Why the tea couldn't come like after 8 in the morning?